Well, hello everybody and welcome to Vinyl Treasures. I'm your host, Johnny G. John Galito, coming to you live each and every Saturday only here on YouTube. Welcome to the August 6, 2022 50s and early 60s edition of the Vinyl Treasures Show. We'll be joining Oldies and More Radio beginning at midnight, although maybe we'll get done before midnight tonight, as I got a little less than I normally do, so that's a good thing. That might be a good thing. We'll see. But we opened up tonight out of Los Angeles, California. Tenor saxophonist Vito Musso and his orchestra. That one there on the Bahari Brothers Crown record label. That's his third release on the Crown label, and a song entitled Powerhouse Boogie from 1954. Now, Vito started recording back in 1946 for Savoy Records as Vito Musso's All-Stars. He also played with trombonist Kai Winding. I think he had a big hit in, an instrumental hit in 63 on the Verve label called, what was that called? That was More, I think, was the name of that tune. But anyway, we just opened up from 54, Vito Musso and his orchestra on the Crown label. Song entitled Powerhouse Boogie. Got lots of requests tonight and a couple extras here I know you'll enjoy. So let's start it off here. You all know this group from Brooklyn, New York. The lead singer of the group was first a member of the DuPonts on the Winley Royal Roost record label. Then he recorded with a group called the Chesters on Apollo, and finally with his group, the Imperials. This one's on George Goldner's N record label, and this is their 12th of 13th on the N label, written by second tenor for the group, Ernest Wright. Features lead singer Anthony Gourdine. This charted number 61 on WABC here in New York City. We open up from... Oh wait, this can't be from 61. I opened up with a 61 record. I thought this was 59. Anyway, little Anthony and the Imperials on N. It's called Traveling Stranger. I messed up. That's a cool record to open up the Vinyl Treasure Show with. That one there, I have it as June 61 release. I rarely open up with a record from the 60s, but that is a definite. They like that one there in the in the YouTube chat room. Little Anthony and the Imperials on the N record label. Traveling Stranger is the name of the tune. June 61 release, I guess. You know, that comes with two different flip sides, by the way. Maybe that's the second release, possibly. I think Say Yeah is the flip side of this one. I forget what the one of the other presses is, but it's much harder to get with the other flip side. But let's open up with another cool up-tempo. This is actually a B-side from last week, as listener Jimmy Amato requested the Kodaks. The Kodaks, a group out of Newark, New Jersey. They had 4 releases on Bobby Robinson's Fury record label, and last week Jimmy requested their 4th, the ballad side, called Guardian Angel, and dedicated it to a group member that sang on that record, Richard Dixon. Let's flip it over here. I think it was Floyd Flowers and maybe Jimmy that also wanted the flip side, because I like this side. This is the side that I used to hear on the radio. Gus Gossert would play this one in the early 1970s. The great Pearl McKinnon on lead. So this is going out to Floyd and Jimmy, December 58. The Kodaks on the Fury record label. It's called Run Around Baby.
Run around, baby, go loopy, loopy. Run around, baby, go loopy, loopy. Run around, baby, go loopy, loopy. Run around, baby, go loopy, loopy.
Yes, I do. He's a run around the baby, stuck my heart, don't around the baby. Yes, I do. Run around the baby. Yes, I do. He's a lover, she's a storm, like the sky like a bubble. Yes, I do. He's a run around the baby. If you've ever had your arms around him, you see what I mean. That is why I want him spending all his time with me. Yes, I know how to run around baby, run my heart out, don't baby. Yes, I know how to run around baby.
That's the great sound of Pearl McKinnon and the Kodaks. That's their 4th release on the Fury record label. December 1958 release. Runaround Baby is the name of the tune. That's going out to Floyd Flowers and Jimmy Amato. Now, after this, I think they went to J&S Records, but I don't think Pearl McKinnon went with them. Not on that J&S. Maybe, I think that's when I spoke to John Clemente about it. And also, they also have releases on the Wink label. Let's continue here. You know, we count down the music chronologically here on the 50s and early 60s edition. And let's start it off here with a request for listener Nick Nicola, as this group first recorded back in 1942 on a 78, if you have those RCA Bluebird labels. But they recorded for other labels. I think Bluebird was one of the divisions, Victor the other, Atlas, Mercury, and Apollo Records. And this would be their very last release. And it's actually a reissue, though. This was first issued back in April of 1947 on the Apollo record label. Then the Hilltoppers, a version of this song, came out in 1953, mid-1953, and it was moving up the charts. So Bess Berman said, well, let's release our version of this tune. And so they did. They re-released this version to compete with that Hilltoppers version. This one features John Jordan on lead. This is going out to Nick Nicola. July 1953 release on the Lloyd's label. That's a subsidiary of Apollo. The Four Vagabonds with their rendition of the tune P.S. I Love You.
Dear, I thought I'd drop a line. The weather's cool, the folks are fine. I'm in bed each night at 9. P.S. I love you. Yesterday we had some rain, but on the whole I can't complain. Was it dusty on the train? P.S. I love you. Ride to the Browns just as soon as you're able. They came around to call. I burned a hole in the dining room table. Now let me see. Guess that's all. Nothing more for me to say, and so I'll close. Oh, by the way, everybody's thinking of you. P.S. I love you. Everybody's thinking of you. P.S. I love you.
Yeah, you don't hear records like that anymore. That one there going out to Nick Nicola, the Four Vagabonds. Their very last release on Lloyd's. I think they had an EP that might have come out after this, though. That's John Jordan on lead. Originally recorded back in April of 47, well, released in April of 47. July 53 there. The Four Vagabonds going out to Nick Nicola, their rendition of P.S. I Love You. P.S. Johnny G loves you right here with me every Saturday night beginning at 9 p.m., 9 to midnight right here. If you're new to the program, those of you watching on YouTube, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Tell your friends. Click the bell to get notifications. Let's move into 1954 now. This is a request for listener Tom Shaughnessy. This singer-songwriter from New Orleans, Louisiana, was dubbed Sugar Boy as a child, and when label owner Leonard Chess heard him sing with a group called the Shawees, he decided to record him and release 3 on the Checker label. Actually, we'll talk about that Shawees record here because I got something coming up for you guys. But anyway, he recorded 3 on the Checker label. This was his second of 3 for James Crawford, a.k.a. Sugar Boy. James Sugarboy Crawford, but on the 45, it's Sugar Boy and his Cane Cutters. This is going out to Tom Shaughnessy, February 54. Sugar Boy and his Cane Cutters on the Checker label. It's called Giacomo.
I go, Haiko, haiko, hande. Giacomo Filo, handande. Giacomo Finane. Oh, my spy boy met your spy boy sitting by the fire. My spy boy, do your spy boy, I'm gonna set your flag on fire. Talking about hey now, Haiko, haiko, hande. Giacomo Filo, handande. Giacomo Finane. Oh, look at my queen all dressed in red. Haiko, haiko, hande. I bet you $5 she'll kill you dead. Giacomo Finane. Talking about hey now, Haiko, haiko, hande. Giacomo Filo, handande. Giacomo Finane. About hey now, Haiko, haiko, hande. Giacomo Filo, handande. Giacomo Finane. Oh, haiko, 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 hande. I'm having my fun on the Mardi Gras day. Giacomo Finane. Talking about hey now, Haiko, haiko, hande. Giacomo Filo, handande. Giacomo Finale. Talking about hey now, Haiko, haiko, hande. Giacomo Filo, handande. Giacomo Finale.
That's the second of two. Second of two there. Well, I lost my place. Second of two for Sugarboy and his Cane Cutters there. That's going out to Tom Shaughnessy. February 1954 release, came out on the Checker record label. Song entitled Giacomo. Now, in 1965, the Dixie Cups would have a top 20 national hit with a song called Iko Iko. Came out on the Redbird record label. And a song that sounded so much like that song that in 1967 Sugarboy Crawford or James Sugarboy Crawford sued them because that was a decent hit for the group on Redbird, and he wanted a 25% credit. I think they called it, and I don't know how this means in royalty terms, but 25% credit for public performance of the Dixie Cups on this song, Iko Iko. So anyway, that is what happened with this record. Now, relating to this record, as this song, this was not the song that Leonard Chess heard. The one I'm playing next is the song that Leonard Chess heard, and this was recorded in New Orleans, Louisiana, November 23rd of 1952 at the J&M studio at 838 North Rampart Street. Does anybody know where that is in New Orleans? But it was owned by the legendary is it Cosimo or Cosmo? I think it's Cosimo Matassa. He owned that studio, and the lead singer on this song was supposed to be Sugarboy Crawford, but he has strained his voice performing the night before, so another member of this group, which was Edgar Big Boy Miles, took over with the lead vocals. Now listen to the recitation part, because you will hear Crawford's voice and in the recitation part, and listen closely. You can hear him straining his voice. Doesn't really sound that good, but if you listen closely, you'll hear it. But this is the song that Leonard Chess heard and actually signed both Sugarboy, James Crawford, and Big Boy Miles to his Checker Chess label empire. That's how that transpired. But this is a rare 45. It came out in December of 52 on Eddie and Leo Mesner's Aladdin record label. These are the Shawees. The Shawees with Big Boy Miles on lead, and you'll hear Sugarboy in the resuscitation. It's called No One to love me.
No one to love me. I'm all alone. If you don't believe me, find out on your own. My heart is bleeding for you and you alone. Tell me, darling, why play love so free and then turn around and mistreat for me? You know I love you, body and soul.
There's no one to love me, darling. No one to call my own. Tell me, sweetheart, why you wanna leave me alone? Yes, I've been more to you than I've really been to myself. And it's bleeding my heart out just to know you're in love with someone else. Yes, I did all I could do and I gave you all I could afford. Now you're telling me you're gonna put me outdoors. No, there's no one to love me now. There's no one to dream upon. Tell me, sweetheart, why you wanna leave me alone?
My love have left me. I don't know why, but I love her till the day I die. You know I love you, body and soul, body and soul.
Sweetheart, just to hold you in my arms again is a dream I've always had. But I guess I'll just have to go on dreaming, 'cause I know now, I know you want me back. All I can do is sit and cry my heart out and beg you, yes, beg you, please, please come back to me, darling. Please come back to me, darling. Please, please come back. Please come back.
There you go there with that raspy voice. That's the Shawies there on the Aladdin record label, December 1952. It's a hard 45 to find. No One to Love You is the name of the tune. Then in the fall of 53, while still under contract with Aladdin Records, Leonard Chess had both Sugarboy Crawford and Big Boy Miles record for him. Those cheating guys is what they did. These label owners really, they would do what the hell they wanted to do. As we continue here, let's go back to 1954. This is a request for listener Big Dave Swinger, and we'll stay in New Orleans, Louisiana for this group. They had 14 releases on the Imperial record banner. This was their 6th, and it was an R&B hit for this group, a big number 9 R&B charter for them on the Billboard R&B chart. This one features Leonard Chick Carbo on lead. Let's go to September 1954. These are the Spiders on the Imperial label, and the song is called 21.
I'm 3 times 7, just made 21. Now I'm 3 times 7, just made 21. Going out, baby, and have myself some fun. Come on, baby, let's do a fancy dance. Come on, baby, let's do a fancy dance. Now that I'm a man, I've just got to have romance. Hey, I do,
My money to have my fun. Nobody's business, cause I just made 21. I'm 3 times 7, just made 21. Going out, baby, and have myself some fun. When I come back, baby, don't be mad at me. When I come back, baby, don't be mad at me. Cause I'm full of fun, but loose and fancy free.
As going out to not Sugar Bear. I see Sugar Bear in the chat room. I mean, that's going out to Big Dave Swinger. Those are the, the Spiders. The Spiders from September 1954. That's their 6th release on the Imperial record banner. Song entitled 21. Now, Leonard Chick Carbo is the lead singer on there. That tune written by Dave Bartholomew. Now, the other lead singer for the group was Chick's brother. His name was Hayward Chuck Carbo. Very easy to mix those two guys up. Now, here's a question. I know, drinking age, wasn't it raised from 18 to 21? That was drinking age. And maybe this is the age of consent at the time. Was it 21 and they lowered it to 18? Where's Dave the Rave when you need him? He knows all that stuff. But I don't know. I guess that's the purpose of the song. Maybe it is. Maybe Johnny G. We'll not go into that. Let's continue now. We go to 1955 with a request for listener Mike Sape, who told me via email that he was now signed in to YouTube and was able to join the chat room. Now, I don't know. I was trying to give Mike Sape pointers, so I don't know really. I mean, I see it the way I see it, so I don't know how you guys see it based on your Android phones or on your TV or whatever, but there is a knack. I know a lot of you figured out. Chipper, I know, figured out how to get into the chat room, but maybe Mike Sape is figuring out how to get in to the chat room. But anyway, Mike Sape requested this one as we head to New York City to Jerry Blaine's Josie record label. This group formed by Gabriel Suggs of the Revelaires. I think that's how you pronounce it, the Revelaires. They recorded for the Burgundy label out of Detroit. He added Ray Wheaton, Donald Ashby, and the lead singer, Prentice Polk. And this is with Sid Bass and the orchestra. This is by request for Mike Sape, dedicated to George Tompkins from August 1955. These are the Clicks on the Josie label. It's called Come Back to Me.
What you gonna do?
What you gonna do
when your baby's gone? Lord, what you gonna do?
What you gonna do
when you're all alone?
when you're all alone?
I'm gonna fall down on my knees and say, baby, please come back, come back, come back to me,
Back to me.
Lord, what you gonna do?
What you gonna do
When tears come down,
tears come
Lord, what you gonna do?
What you gonna do
She's not around.
not around?
I'm gonna fall down on my knees and cry, baby, please come back, baby, come back to me.
Back to
Lord, you know I love you. I can't go this way. I want you, I need you, can't you see? Pretty baby, come back to me. Pretty baby, come back.
baby, come back.
Bring back my heart.
Bring back my
Lord, I feel
Wow, Jimmy Amato, thank you for that comment. I just saw it in the chat room. You could possibly be the best DJ ever with all this great stuff. Well, maybe that's true, but I don't know about that. I'm just playing my 45's like we played that one there. For Mike Sape, that's the Clicks. Not an easy record to find, by the way. The Clicks on Jerry Blaine's Joe C record label. That's going out to George Tompkins from Mike Sape. August 1955 release, Come Back to Me is the name of that too. We stay in 1955 with a request for listener Ronnie Sherman as we head to Chicago, Illinois, to Leonard Allen's United record label for a group called the Pastels. Now, this is not the Been So Long Pastels that had the lead of DeFosco Irvin. This is a different group. It's out of Chicago, and it's unfortunate that this was their only release when the song was first issued and received airplay on WHFC in Chicago. The title was longer. It started taking off, and they said, we can't have this long title on the record. We got to cut it. We got to cut it short. So on the first presses of this, the "If You" was removed, and that's the way I have it, because the full title of the song was "If You Put Your Arms Around Me," and they shortened it to "Put Your Arms Around Me," and I like this song a lot. It features Fred Buckley on lead. He gets mentioned on the label. We go to December 1955. This is for Ronnie Sherman, the Pastels on the United record label. I have it, "Put Your Arms Around Me." This is for Ronnie.
I'm lost, for I cannot see. Won't you tell me that you love me, love me? Be an angel just for me. I'm lost, and I'm going insane. If you put your arms around me, then we'll walk through Lover's Lane. Oh yes, I'm lost. Can't you see, baby, you're for me? Can't you see? And in this heart, my dear, is a feeling and a reason for shedding tears. I'm lost for playing the game. If you put your arms around me, then we'll walk through Lover's Lane. Lost, and I'm going insane. If you put your arms around me, then we'll walk through Lover's Lane. Walk through Lover's Lane.
That's the sound of Chicago here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. That's going out to Ronnie Sherman, the Pastels, no Sugar Bear, not the DeFosco Irvin Pastels that did Been So Long and So Far Away. How great those records are. This is a great sound of Chicago, the Pastels, with Fred Buckley on lead. That's by request for Ronnie Sherman, December 55, their only release on the United label. Put Your Arms Around Me. We stay in 1955 with this request for listener Daniel Kubacki in our YouTube chat room. This group out of Detroit, Michigan, they previously recorded as the Royals on Sid Nathan's Federal record label, but when Sid Nathan lured the Five Royales away from Apollo and signed the group to the Federal label, this group changed their name to the Midnighters, and Daniel requested their 13th release as the Midnighters, and it features Hank Ballard on lead. This charted number 10 on WHOD in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We go to September 1955. This is for Daniel Kubacki, the Midnighters on the Federal label. It's called That House on the Hill. As going out to Daniel Kubacki there. Those are the Midnighters. Hank Ballard and the Midnighters, their September 1955 release, That House on the Hill, is the name of that one for Daniel Kubacki. Johnny G loves that movie, House on Haunted Hill. I love that B movie. I can watch that 24/7. I love those cool 1950s B movies that go with this rock and roll 45s. That's what I say. Let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Up next, one of the pioneer groups of rhythm and blues. Originally, this group is out of Louisville, Kentucky. First hooking up with Cleveland disc jockey Alan Freed, who became their manager and made their debut single, came out on the Champagne record label. That's a good record. Not that easy to find either. I should play that here. It's been a while since I featured that Champagne release. But this is a request for my number one California listener, Matey Campoy. This is on Leonard Chess's Chess record label, and this is a B-side to the group's fourth release. We will be getting to the A-side momentarily, a song called Starlight, but that side features Bobby Lester, but the flip side is actually a duet, and it's one of the 7 duets that was recorded by group members Bobby Lester and Harvey Fuqua. who get writer credit on this, along with Alan Freed. Although if you look at the label, you'll see Dallas. That's for Richard Dallas. That is an alias for Bobby Lester. So this is going out to Matey Campboy, August 1955, the Moonglows with a B-side on the Chess record label. The song is called In Love.
I'm in love. I'm in love. Whoa. I'm in love. Stay in love. Whoa. I'm in love. 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 I'm in love. Whoa. I don't want nobody else. For I'm in love. Oh, can't you see? Can't you see? Oh, can't you see? Please say, you love me. Nobody else, for I'm in love.
That's the great sound of the Moonglows as going out to listener Matey Campboy. The Moonglows there from August 1955. That is their, what did I say? That was their fourth release. That's the B-side to their fourth release. Song entitled In Love. Now, the other duet songs were all with Bobby and Harvey. They were We Go Together, even though We Go Together, So All Alone, He Lied, New Gal, Mean Old Blues, Kiss Me Baby, and Sweeter Than Words. Those were all duets with Bobby Lester and Harvey Fuqua. And we continue here with the flip side of this. We're going to flip over this Moonglows 45, an instant request here. It's actually for listener Big Dave Swinger. He actually sent me a whole list of tunes to play, and this was on there, so I figured I'd feature it for a great two-sided 45. We're going to send this out to Big Dave Swinger. This features Bobby Lester on lead, and this is a cool tune here from August 55, the Moonglows on Chess. And their classic tune, it's called Starlight.
I'm in love.
Starlight shining so bright, shine so bright in the middle of night. In the middle of night, show me the way. Yeah. I love you. Oh, I love you. I love you so. I need you. Yes, I need you. And never, never, never let you go. Starlight shining so bright, shine so bright of night. In the middle of night, show me the way.
As going out to Big Dave Swinger. He is in our YouTube chat room. The great Moonglows there. Bobby Lester on lead, their fourth release on the Chess record label. August 55, Starlight with Q-Burn and all on that promo. I have a nice mint, also a stock copy on that. I thought that one played okay. I did on the flip side, though. Let's continue here on the Vinyltreasure show now on the July 23rd show. Played a request for Marvin Pod on George Goldner's Rama record label. The group was called The Bells, a great ballad with Joe Van Loan on lead. It was called What Can I Tell Her Now? And I think it was listeners Tom Shaughnessy and Emanon requested the flip side of the 45, which is a jump that features the bass lead of Big Bob Cornegay. Big Bob Cornegay on lead here. This is going out to Emanon and Tom. We go back to July 55, The Bells on the Rama label, a rare 45. It's called Let Me Love You for Tom and Emanon.
Baby, let me love you. Yeah, baby, this is what I'll do.
I'll buy you a Cadillac car. Take you to the finest bar. You'll go out riding. California's not too far. If you let me love you, I'll buy you a diamond ring. Mink coats and everything. Spend our vacation way up in Maine. If you let me love you.
I'm so tired of being alone. I got nobody to call my own. I just sit, drink all night long. Because baby,
Daddy needs this honey home. Baby, let me love you.
Love you, baby.
Please let me love you.
Love you, baby.
I'll give you anything in this wide, wide world. If you let me love you. Got a good man at home, baby, and he's treating you wrong. Just look in your directory, you'll find my phone. I'll come love you. I'll work hard every day, bring you all my pay. I'll do anything, baby, anything you say. If you let me love you.
I'm so tired of being alone. I got nobody to call my own. I just sit, drink all night long. Because baby,
Daddy needs this honey home. Baby, let me love you.
Love you, baby.
Please, please, please.
Love you, baby.
I'll give you anything in this wide, wide world. If you let me love you. Baby, if you let me love you.
July 55 release there for the Bells, a vocal jump there with Big Bob Cornegay on lead. That one there on George Goldner's Rama record label, Rare 45. Hard to find that one on original. Let Me Love You is the name of that tune. We are in 1956 now with a request for Joe Shacatano, who I don't think he's in the YouTube chat room. He told me that he got a new modem and it was causing havoc. So he didn't know, he didn't have internet service. Same thing with the Brian Korn, rockin' chick that comes in, having troubles with the internet. But we'll still send it out to Joe Shacatano. This is his request. He requested Sonny Woods and the Four Winds. They first recorded... Sonny Woods first recorded with a group called The Twigs in 1954 for the Hollywood record label, but then he signed with Emmanuel Middleton's Middletone label for 2 releases. This was his first. It's with the Ernie Freeman Combo, an all-star combo, by the way, and they get mentioned on the label. Irving Ashby on guitar, Joe Comfort on the bass, R.D. Martinez on drums, Plas Johnson on sax, and band leader and pianist Ernie Freeman. This is going out to Joe Shacatano, February 56, Sonny Woods and the Four Winds. It's on Middletone Records. It's called Do You Love Me? This is for Joe.
Worried both night and day. It's only you, my pet, can drive my blues away. Do you love me? So hard for me to tell. If you love me, I'll say that all is well, and I love you
As by request for Joe Shacatano, that's Sonny Woods and the Four Winds, February 56 release. That's on the Middletone record label. That was his first of 2. Do You Love Me is the name of that tune. We stay in 56 with a request for Tom Shaughnessy. I don't play many hits on the show, and Tom, I hope I don't get a copyright strike. I don't think I would, because I saw copies of this on. Sometimes I got to be careful with. I cannot play Buddy Holly. Don't ever ask me for Buddy Holly or any of the Norman Petty produced records. They are a no-no. The Beatles, not that you're going to hear the Beatles on this show. Well, maybe the Beatles that did The Girl I Love. It was kind of like a joke from 1964, but you will not hear some of the big hits on here because they'll knock me off of YouTube in a hot second. But you all know this group from Los Angeles, California. I mostly feature their releases on Sid Nathan's Federal record label. They have so many other cool releases, but Tom Shaughnessy wanted to hear this one, and on my fourth Final Treasure show, I played one of their rarest on Federal. It's called I'll Cry When I'm Gone. So, Tom, I played that on the June 4th show, so not tonight. Now, when Buck Ram brought them to Mercury Records, their careers exploded. They did, and they had a number of hits, and the DJs would spin both sides of their Mercury 45s, as was the case with this 45. This is their fifth release for the Mercury label, and they lip-synced this song in the movie. Did anybody see the movie The Girl Can't Help It? I think in that movie it was the introduction of actress Jane Mansfield, a pretty hot-looking actress back in 1956. But anyway, this song, number 14 on Cashbox, number 11 on Billboard, was number 9 on the R&B chart, and a big number 3 record if you were listening on WILY in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Of course, the great Tony Williams on lead. August 56 release. These are the Platters, going out to Tom Shaughnessy on the Mercury label. It's called You'll Never, Never Know for Tom.
You'll never know.
You'll never, never know I care. You'll never know the torch I bear. You'll never know it, for I won't show it. Oh no, you'll never, never know.
You'll never know.
You'll never, never see me cry. Not even when you're glancing by. For I won't weaken when we're speaking. Oh no, you'll never, never know. You know the years to me that I was before. You see the used to be that one you did.
You'll never know.
No, no, I know I won't reveal the way I really truly feel. But if you guess it, I'll confess it. Oh darling, now's the time to glow, or else you'll never, never know. You know the used to me that I was before. You'll see the used to be that one you did.
You'll never know.
No, no, I know I won't reveal the way I really truly feel. But if you guess it, I'll confess it. Oh darling, now's the time to glow, or else you'll never, no, no, you'll never, oh no, you'll never, ever know.
You'll never know.
That's the great sound of the Platters there on the Mercury record banner. August 1956, You'll Never, Never Know is the name of that one. That's going out to listener Tom Shaughnessy. I like that one there in the YouTube chat room, Tom, as we continue here for a request for Mike Sape, dedicating this to Nick Nicola and George Tompkins. This is on George Goldner's G record label, one of the harder G, not the hardest G to find, but one of the harder G's to find. And this group had no clue what to use as a group name. So they basically had no name. That's what they did. They had no name and came up with a gimmick to spell no name backwards, and they called themselves the Emanons. That's what they did. They had no name. They called themselves the Emanons. This is going to relate to a record later on at the end of the night that Ryan Heisey requested. So stay tuned for that. But this was their debut single. Came out on George Goldner's G record label. Features Robert Coleman on lead. Let's go to March 1956. Requested by Mike Sape, going out to Nick and George. The Emanons on the G label. It's called Change of Time.
The change of time. The change of time has done so much to me. It shattered my heart and set you free. I know I still linger on inside of your heart, though the change of time, dear, made us part. My dear, my sweet, my only one, someone like you, my life, my soul, my happiness. What will I do? Someone like me. Someone like me. Filled with misery. Filled with misery. A love like mine, ruined by the change of time. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock.
That's by request for Mike Sape, going out to Nick and George. The Emanons. The Emanons from March 56, George Goldner's G record label. Change of Time is the name of that one. Robert Coleman on lead for that. Their next release came out on the Josie label. You may know the song Blue Moon, a cool rendition of Blue Moon that the group does. Let's continue. We are in 56 with another request, this time for Joe Shacatano, as 3 members of this group would join with 2 members of the Five Wings to record as the Marvels on the ABC Paramount record label, with Richard Blandon as lead, and then that group changed their name to the Dubs. And anyway, James Jake Miller, baritone, Thomas Gardner, bass, and tenor, Cleveland Stills. Those were 3 from this group, and James Montgomery, I think, who were members of the Scale Tones. And actually, no, I messed it up here. That this group consisted of James Jake Miller, he was the baritone, Thomas Gardner, the bass, and 2 tenors, Cleveland Still and James Montgomery, and they were members of this group, the Scale Tones. And they had this lone release that came out on Joe Davis's JD record label, and it features Cleveland Still on lead, and he said he hated this song whenever he heard it. But it's a request for Joe Shacatano, February 56, the Scale Tones on JD. It's called Everlasting Love.
Last night from the heavens up above. It's sparkling golden slippers and diamonds in her hair. I reached out to touch her, but she was no longer there. Last night,
Oh yes, it was last
she came before me
when she came before me,
like an angel,
just like an angel,
of love.
an angel of love, drifting along
throughout the moonbeam,
throughout all the moonbeams,
from the heaven,
yes, the heaven,
up above,
way up above.
It's sparkling, golden slippers, and
And great big beautiful
diamonds
diamonds
in her hand.
in her hand. Oh yes, I reached
out to
right out to touch her,
but she was no longer there. Now I wonder what she's thinking, way up there, so far above. And I wonder if she knows she's my everlasting love. Everlasting love.
As Cleveland's still in the scale tones there. That's going out to Joe Shacatano, Joe Davis's JD record label, February 56 release, Everlasting Love is the name of that tune. Let's stay in 56 with a flip side from a June 25th show. I played a request for Joe by the Montclairs. They were out of Montclair, New Jersey, and they had this lone release on Joe Leibowitz's premium label, Premium Records, out of Linden, New Jersey, played My Every Dream. And it was a listener, George Tompkins, that wanted to hear the flip side here. So we'll flip it over here before it goes back down in the no humidity basement. It features Arthur Perry on lead from February 56. These are the Montclairs on premium. It's called Give Me a Chance. This is for George.
For the thing that I've said and done to you.
That's going out to George Tompkins there, the Montclairs, February 56. It's on the premium record label out of Linden, New Jersey. Give Me a Chance is the name of that one. Arthur Perry, the lead singer on that one. And it's unfortunate this label came to an abrupt end when label owner Joe Leibowitz, not Arthur Leibowitz, Joe Leibowitz just... he had a massive heart attack, dropped dead, and that was the end of the label. That's a terrible thing. You gotta have a plan B set up. You always need to have a plan B. Unfortunately, that label did not. Let's continue here now. On last week's show, I played a request for Daniel Kubacki, the 6th release on Leonard Chess's Checker label for the great Flamingos, and it was a B-side. It was called Just for a Kick, and it was listeners Darrell Letts and George Tompkins requested the flip side, which was featured in a motion picture, an Alan Freed motion picture. Very cool. Even if they're lip syncing to their songs, it's still an historic film to see the actual group members. And the movie was called Rock, 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 and they sang this tune on, the make-believe stage there. Frankie Lyman and the Teenagers, the Johnny Burnett Trio, Laverne Baker. There were other groups too, but I like the movie. I like to watch it. This is from November 56. This is for Darrell and George, the Flamingos, with Nate Nelson on lead. Checker Records. This is the A-side. It's called Would I Be Crying?
I can't be lying. Can't you see that I'm crying? Would I be crying if I were lying to you? My heart's about to break. I regret making my mistake. My love for you burns the same, and my tears can't put out a flame. Won't you forgive me? Oh, darling, forgive me. You must believe me. I will always be true. Would I be crying my heart out for you and hurting the way I do? Would I be crying if I were lying to you? Won't you forgive me? Oh, darling, forgive me. You must believe me. I will always be true. Would I be crying my heart out for you and hurting the way I do? Would I be crying if I were lying to you?
motion picture music here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. The Flamingos there. The great Flamingos, Nate Nelson on lead, November 56 for Darrell Letts and George Tompkins. Would I Be Crying is the name of the tune. Johnny G would be crying if I had internet woes. I can tell you that much. I know some of our listeners have had internet problems. The weather has been horrid, although we are getting a break, at least here in New York, at least in the Westchester County area on Wednesday, I think. But we continue here. We are in 56, and here's a request for listener Big Dave Swinger. This group hails from Knoxville, Tennessee. They had 3 releases on Herman Lubinsky's Savoy record label. This is their third, and it features Benjamin Washington on lead. We'll send this one out to Big Dave, April 56. They're called the 5 Pennies on Savoy. It's called My Heart Trembles.
Tremble,
Tremble,
tremble, tremble.
My heart seems to tremble when you pass me by. I wanted to tell you how I feel inside. My fingers are symbols as I kneel to pray that you could love me as I love you today. Seems to tremble, when you're by my side. I know you could love me if you only try. I know you could love me.
That's a great tune there. That's by request for Big Dave Swinger in our YouTube chat room. Those are the 5 Pennies. 5 Pennies on Savoy from April 56. My Heart Trembles. Benjamin Washington, the lead singer on that. I think Clifford Curry was a member of this group also, too, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was. Yes, he was. And, of course, this group later recorded as the 4 Jokers on the Sioux label. They also backed up Freddie Scott on the Arrow label as the Chimes. Have featured those records here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Let's move into 1957 with a request for listener Timothy in our YouTube chat room. Now, this group was discovered by the wife of bandleader Al Brown. She heard them singing in the subways of New York City and gave the lead singer, Johnny Mastroangelo, her husband's business card. That prompted the group to audition for Al Brown, and he put them out. He put 2 releases out on the Joyce record label. Now, Timothy requested their second release, and this is with Johnny Mastroangelo. Yeah, Johnny Mastroangelo on lead. Of course, he would later shorten it as Johnny Maestro when he moved over to the Coed record label, but not on these early sides. October 1957. This is going out to Timothy. These are the Crests on the Joyce label, their second release. It's called Wish She Was Mine. For Timothy.
so fine, wish she was mine. She is so sweet, she swept me off my feet. I know the reason why, wish she was mine. Oh well, I looked her over once or twice or three times. I thought it over. She's the girl for me. How happy I would be. I know that she's my kind. Wish she was mine. Hey! Once, twice, and three times, I thought it over. She's the girl for me. How happy I will be. I know she's my guy. Wish she was mine. All mine. Hey, all mine. Well now, all mine. I said all mine. Oh, I wish it was mine.
October 57 release for the Crests, their second on the Joyce label. That's going out to Timothy. Wish She Was, Wish She Was Mine is the name of the tune. Johnny Mastroangelo on lead, Johnny Maestro for short, and Johnny's group on Joyce included a female singer. Her name was Patricia Vandross, and she was the older sister to soul singer Luther Vandross. She was a member of that group, his older sister. Let's continue here, and we are in 1957. Let's go to a request for Daniel Kubacki in our YouTube chat room. It's Billy Ward and the Dominoes. This is on Sid Nathan's Federal record label, and on December 3rd of 1953, the group was in a small session where they recorded two songs, Jackie Wilson-led ballads, and one of the songs that day was Until the Real Thing Comes Along, and the other tune was this one, requested by Daniel, but the song was not released until July of 1957, and on that original recording it was 3 minutes long, but they shortened it to 2 minutes and 15 seconds when they released it here in July of 1957. This is the 20th of 21 releases on Federal for Billy Ward and his Dominoes, a tune written by Billy Ward and the great voice of Jackie Wilson. This is going out to Daniel, July 57. Billy Ward and the Dominoes on the Federal label. It's called One Moment With You, and the great sound of Jackie Wilson on lead for Daniel.
I would gladly give my all just to find a garden wall where fortune would lend me one sweet moment with you. One moment with you. I would hold you in my arms, and I'd tell you of your charms. If heaven would send me one sweet moment with you. One moment with you. I love you so, more than you can ever dream.
As going out to Daniel Kubacki there, Billy Ward and the Dominoes, but that's with Jackie Wilson on lead, July 1957 release, although that record was recorded December 3rd of 1953, One Moment With You, that one there on the Federal Record label. Let's continue here now. On last week's Vinyltreasure show, I featured the Teen Clefs on the Dice label. The song was called Hiding My Tears with a Smile. That one released in February of 1959, but that was a cover song. This was originally done by this next singer, and it was a request for listener Marvin Pod. He requested the original version. This came out on Stephen Hodges' Atomic label as done by Dennis Brown and the Atomics. Now, Dennis was discovered by boxer Sugar Ray Robinson. He was singing at the Zion Baptist Church in Harlem, New York, and Sugar Ray Robinson introduced him to label owner Stephen Hodge. As a result, they put out this great two-sided 45 by request for Marvin Pod. This one from February 57. Dennis Brown, no mention of the Atomics on this side, but they are here. Dennis Brown and the Atomics on the Atomic label. It's called Hiding My Tears with a Smile. This is for Marvin.
Must I go on where he goes now, keeping up his crazy disguise, when all the while I'm thinking that I'm right, I'm just living in a life I cannot understand. Why we are apart? I gave you all my love and you broke my heart. I'll still be gay, and as long as I'm in, I'm just hiding my tears with some more.
As by request from Marvin Pod, their very rare 45 by Dennis Brown. Dennis Brown and the Atomics, February 57. Played it by the Teen Clefs last week. This is the original, Hiding My Tears with a Smile. Came out on the Atomic record label. And this record actually belonged to our listener, George Tompkins. This was his record. I got it via third party. Don't ask the price that I paid, but it's a hard record. And the Atomics, they're not credited, as I mentioned, on this side, but they are credited on the flip. Another excellent tune, so stay tuned for that next week. It's called Show Me the Rose. We'll play that one next week. We'll also send this one out to George Tompkins. We are in 1957, and on last week's show, I played a request for... no, that's a mistake. Let's go to Detroit, Michigan. We are in 1957 for this next singer, and it's a request for Kenny Mack. Kenny Mack, are you still in the... Did you leave? Did you say goodnight, or are you still in the YouTube chat room there? This is for Kenny Mack, this singer, songwriter, band leader, and actor, and stand-up comedian would punctuate his jokes with the saying, "Oh yeah." That's what he would say when he was joking around. But his name was Timothy John Anerum, Anerum. I think that's how you pronounce it. But he went by the name Timmy Oh Yeah Rogers, and in 1953 he recorded a song on the Capitol label called Oh Yeah. But he has other releases on Mercury. He also did 2 for the Cameo record label. Now, Kenny requested his first on Cameo. This song did chart nationally, charted number 36 on Billboard, 30 on Cashbox, and was a big number 1 record on WTRY if you were listening in Troy, New York. And I think you can really do a cool stroll to this song. Does anybody know how to do the stroll? They don't do that anymore. They used to do it, though, on a couple of those bandstand type shows. But anyway, we go to September 1957. This is for Kenny Mack, Timmy Oh Yeah Rogers on the Cameo record label. The song is called Back to School Again for Kenny.
All over, back to school again. Goodness gracious, summer's over, all over. Guess it had to end. Bye bye, good times. Back to school again. No more swimming. History. No more spoofing, no goofing. Good morning, Mr. Lee. It's all over. Back to school for me. Again, penitentiary, holy mackerel, here I come again. Bye bye, good times, back to school again. It's all over. Down here. All over. Here I come again. Back to the yard.
C.C. Rider. C. Right, you know that song, C.C. Rider. We call the do we call the lawyers on this tune? That's going out to Kenny Mack in our YouTube chat room. I see Kenny is still there. He was saying good night to a couple of folks that had to go, but this is from September 57. Timmy Oh Yeah Rogers on the Cameo record label, Back to School Again, and has other releases on followed him on Phillips, Epic, Cadet, and other labels. Let's continue here. We move into 1958 now. This is an ultra rare 45 that came out on the Cyclone record label. Don't know anything about the group. I heard they were like part of a gang or something. I don't know. Something odd about this group. They gotta be out of New York City, I have to say it. But this is on the Cyclone label. The group is called the Calendars, and this is on Paul Winley's Cyclone record label, and this was the last 45 I purchased from the late George Lavatelli of Relic Rack Records, and I won this on eBay. I had to go into a bidding war with another big top collector, and I ended up winning this record, and it's the only one available that you can see that's sold, so I don't think there's been another one for sale since, and I know a lot of the collectors are looking for this 45, but if anybody has any information on this group, please let me know. It's a great tune, and I was gonna send it out to George Tompkins, but he left, but he'll listen on the archive hopefully, and I think Nat Papagallo, also listening down in Naples, Florida, he likes this tune, 1958, The Calendars, spelled The Calendars, D-A-R-S. This is on the Cyclone label. It's called If I Could Hold Your Hand from 1958, The Calendars.
If I could hold your hand, then we would make romance. Oh, how happy I would be making our romance without regret. If I could kiss your lips, then maybe you wouldn't resist me. Oh, how happy I would be knowing that someone cared. In love with you. In love with you. In love with you. Whoa, won't you hear my song? I need you, nigga. I need you, nigga. Without you, nigga. Because I just can't go on. If I could hold your hand, we would make romance. Oh, how happy I would be knowing that someone who
Rare 45's here on the Vinyl Treasures Show. I had to go for that record. I had no choice. I couldn't go for it now, I can tell you that much. John G has no income. No income coming in. Not until I turn 65. So I'll be 64 on September 3rd. So I'm going to have to live on my 45's from that point on. Well, from now till then, I don't know. I'm going to have to eat Cheerios at night. But that's a cool tune there. The Calendars, 1958. It's on Paul Winley's Cyclone record label. If I Could Hold Your Hand is the name of that tune. Always love to play that record. Let's continue now. And on the July 23rd Vinyl Treasure Show, I played a request for Emanon by the Darts. They previously recorded as Sherman and the Darts on the Fury record label back in 1958. Now, Emanon requested the ballad side of their second release. It was called On My Mind. He also requested the flip, which was co-written by the lead singer. His name is Sherman Nichols. So let's send this B-side out. I think it's the B-side, maybe it's the A-side, out to Emanon, November 58. These are the Darts on the Apt label. It's called Well Baby. This is for Emanon.
Please come back to me, yeah, yeah, yeah.
As going out to Emnon there, those are the Darts, Sherman Nichols on lead. November 58 release, that's on the Apt record label, a subsidiary of ABC Paramount Records. Well Baby is the name of the tunes. Now, the masters for these two, they were recorded by Bobby Robinson, sold to ABC Paramount Records, and issued on this Apt subsidiary, which had the same which had a reputation of buying and leasing masters from other record labels. It's actually a cheaper way to do business, you know, just as long as you can distribute the records and you had an outlet for that, or you can press them up, etc. But they were very similar to what Randy Wood did at Dot Records, because he did the same thing. He would be able to contract to license or buy out masters and put them out on Dot, and he had a good distributing thing around the United States. So that's another way to do business here. We all try to find our ways. Yes, we do. Let's continue in 58. Let's go to Chester, Pennsylvania for this next group, and it's a request for Nick Nicola. This is the group's only release. It came out on the KY, K-A-Y -Y label, and it says on the label that Milton Harris Jr. is on piano, and so we'll have to tell Sterling to listen to the piano here. And the lead singer on this, his name is Walter Johnson. So this is from June 58. This is going out to Nick Nicola. This group is called the Four Stars. The Four Stars on the KY label. It's called Chapel by the Sea. This is for Nick.
There's a place, the chapel by the sea, where 'tis said true love will always be. Angels bless the traveler who must roam. Here they say he'll find his love when he comes home. Meet me in the chapel by the sea. Hold me close before you go from me. There I'll pray for you till that shining day, when we'll meet again in the chapel by the sea. There's a place, the chapel by the sea, where 'tis said true love will always be. Angels bless the traveler who must roam. Here they say he'll find his love when he comes home. Meet me in the chapel by the sea. Hold me close before you go from me. There I'll pray for you till that shining day, when we'll meet again in the chapel by the sea.
There you go, Sterling. That's you playing on the piano. No, it's not. It was really Milton Harris Jr. on the piano there with Walter Johnson on lead, June 58 for Nick Nicola there. The 4 stars on the KY record label, Chapel by the Sea. We hope you're digging on the cool tunes tonight. Johnny G spinning original vinyl 45's out of my collection. If you want to get in touch with me, to send me a request at vinyltreasures@aol.com. If you're new to the program, you're just kind of surfing YouTube tonight with not seeing anything exciting, but Johnny G always gets excited on a Saturday night from 9 to midnight right here. So please subscribe to my YouTube channel, tell your friends about it, click the thumbs up and click the bell to get the notification as we continue here. For listener, excuse me, with the cough here with the AC, Daniel Kubacki. This is a request for Daniel Kubacki. Now the group is called the Swallows. They're out of Baltimore, Maryland. They would stop recording as a group for King Records in late 1952, but Junior Denby continued to record with a studio group and still be called the Swallows for a little bit. But then in late 1957, ex-Swallows lead, or one of the leads, Eddie Rich, would team up with ex-Honey Boys lead, Calvin Khaki Colette, to resurrect the group and put out 4 more 45's, this time on Sid Nathan's Federal record label. And this was their second of 4 on the label. This is going out to Daniel, May 1958. The Swallows on the Federal label. It's called We Want to Rock. This is for Daniel.
We wanna rock with you. We wanna rock with you. We wanna rock and roll and have a ball with you. We'll do stop with you. We'll do stop with you. At the hop we'll stop and pop and hop with you. We're gonna roll back the rugs on the floor. We're gonna lock up the windows and the door. We're gonna wear those dancing shoes and pop to the rhythm and blues. We're gonna rock and roll and have a ball with you. We wanna rock with you. We wanna rock with you. We wanna rock and roll and have a ball with you.
That's the second of 4 for the Swallows, their second time around on Sid Nathan's Federal record label. That's going out to Daniel Kubacki, May 58. We Want to Rock is the name of the tune. We've been rocking tonight with some cool rockin' tunes, that is for sure, and also some nice ballads here as we go to Columbus, Ohio for this ballad. And it's a request for Ryan Heisey, who was in our YouTube chat room. Now, this song issued a number of times, but first came out on Eve Estadad's ESTA label. ESTA Records, they were located in Hamilton, Ohio. And this was the debut single for a group known as the Columbus Pharaohs. It was issued first in March of 1958. Then a couple of weeks later, it came out as the Four Pharaohs on Howard Ransom's Ransom record label. Then it came out a third time in April of 59. I don't know how High Weiss got involved with this record, but he put it out on his Paradise record label. That is actually the third release. And then one more time, we're going to talk about this after I play this version, then one more time on Howard Ransom's Nance label, which was out of Los Angeles, California. And that was a re-recorded version by the group, but they were under a different name, so we will talk about that. But this is the original version of the song. It features Morris Wade on lead, and this is going out to Ryan Heisey, May 1958. The Columbus Pharaohs on ESTA. It's called Give Me Your Love. This is with Morris Wade on lead. This is for Ryan Heisey.
Give me your love, and I will make you mine. Our love will flow as smooth as wine if you just give me your love. Oh, give me your heart, and I promise to love only you. I promise our love will be true if you just give me your heart. Darling, you know I love you. When I hold you in my arms, you know, yes, darling, you know that I need, that I love you.
With all your many times.
Will make you mine. Our love will flow as smooth as wine if you just give me your love. Darling, give me your love.
As going out to Ryan Heisey, the Columbus Pharaohs there, Morris Wade, Morris Wade on lead, May 1958, the first release on the ESTA record label, Give Me Your Love. Again, about a couple weeks later, came out on Ransom as the Four Pharaohs, and then it came out another time on a Paradise Records, High Weiss's Paradise record label. He bought the master. Initially, when Ryan contacted me about this song, he didn't know about this original version. He asked me about the group's final release, which came out in late 1963, and in the early 60s, the four Pharaohs became King Pharaoh and the Egyptians. They have a release on the Federal record label. Then after some member changes, and they went out to the West Coast. They went out to Los Angeles, California, and somehow they reunited with Howard Ransom, who owned that Ransom label release by the Four Pharaohs, and they decided to re-record the song, and they changed the name of the group. They changed their name to the Egyptian Kings, and they re-sang the song Give Me Your Love, again with Morris Wade on lead, and it came out like this. This was about 5 years later, so this is going out to Ryan Heisey from late 63. We're going to do the comparison here. We just heard the original as the Columbus Pharaohs. This is the fourth release of it, and a resung version by the Egyptian Kings. It's on Nance Records. Again, the same song. It's called Give Me Your Love.
Give me your love, and I will make you mine. Then our love will always smooth as wine. If you just give me your love. And I promise that our love will be true. And I promise that I will love only you. If you just give me your heart. And you know,
yes, you know, darling,
that I love you. When I hold you in my arms,
and
you know,
yes, you know, darling,
that I need you
with all your little charms.
Give me your love, and I will make you mine. Then our love will flow smooth as wine. If you just give me your love.
That's from late 63, their resung version featuring Morris Wade on lead. The group was called the Egyptian Kings, and that one there, late 63 on the Nance record label, Give Me Your Love. That's by request for Ryan Heisey. Ryan, I hope that event went well for you today. I was wondering how that went. We can talk about it at another time. I just hope it went well for you as we continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Now, we are let's move into 1959 now. And on last week's Vinyl Treasure Show, I played a request for Timothy by Eli Price and the Manhattans. They were out of Pasadena, California. They had this lone release that came out on Dootsy Williams' Duto record label. I featured the intended B-side of their 45. It was called That'll Make It Nice. This week, Timothy requested the intended A-side here. So this is from February 59. We go back to Dootsy Williams' Duto record label out of Los Angeles, California for Eli Price and the Manhattans. This is going out to Timothy in our YouTube chat room. The song is called My Big Dream.
To place my golden bed on your angel head, somewhere in California, that's my big dream. walk by candlelight down to an altar side where hearts in love unite. That's my big dream. The wedding bells can ring, ding-a-ling. You just name the day. Cross my heart, I wouldn't be a second late to have you just for me. Would be so heavenly to love you tenderly. That's my big dream. The wedding bells can ring, ding-a-ling, ding-a-ling, ding-a-ling. I'd cross my heart, I wouldn't be a second late to have you just for me. Would be so heavenly to love you tenderly. That's my big dream,
As going out to Timothy in our YouTube chat room. I like that tune there. Eli Price and the Manhattans, February 59, My Big Dream. That one there, that's the A-side there on the Duto record label. That record belonged to Nick Nicola. I had to go into a little bit of a bidding war to get that on Discovery Magazine or Goldmine Magazine when Nick was selling out his collection. Gotta say, Sugar Bear Sterling, be careful. He's got Johnny G on his big speakers in his cool-looking car, so you better be careful about no texting, Sugar Bear. Let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Up next, a request for listener Ronnie Sherman. This group is from Harlem, New York. They initially backed up Miriam Great on the Apollo label back in 1955. They were called the Dovers, and they would subsequently record as the Vocal Tones on the Apollo record label. Then, I think through 1958 with their last release that came out on the Juanita label. But they reunited with Miriam Great to become the Dovers again, and they signed with Joe Davis's Davis record label, and they had two releases. One came out on the Davis label, and a couple years later they had another one on the New Horizon. I think they were both associated with Joe Davis, though. But this is their release on the Davis label that listener Ronnie Sherman requested. The song written by the bass of the group. His name is James Sneed. And also the lead singer for the group, her name is Miriam Great. So this is going out to Ronnie Sherman, March 59, the Dovers on the Davis label. It's called Sweet as a Flower for Ronnie.
In the dark, love me, my dearest. We'll never part. Sweet as an angel's midnight kiss. My love, my darling.
As for Ronnie Sherman there, that's the Dovers. The Dovers with Miriam Great on lead, March 59. Sweet as a Flower is the name of that one. Joe Davis's Davis record label for that one. We go to Detroit, Michigan for this next request for Evan Blatt. Don't know if Evan's still in the YouTube chat room, but this is on Robert West's Bumblebee label. Now, initially, this group recorded for the Chess Folks in 1956 as Stanley Mitchell and the Tornadoes. Then this record came out in 1959, tune written by group members Robert Spencer and William Witherspoon. And again, Stanley Mitchell is on lead for this one too. This is from 1959. Let's give a listen to the Tornadoes. The Tornadoes on the Bumblebee label. This is for Evan Blatt. It's called Love in Your Life for Evan.
If you're wondering why the nights are so lonely, and you toss and you turn, you toss and turn in your sleep. Well, just take my advice and change all of those sleepless nights. All you need is a little love, yes, in your life. If your nights are long, so long, so long, so long and dreary, they're dreary, so dreary, and your life, it doesn't seem worth a while. Well, love can make your life worthwhile. Change those tears and it'll make you smile. All you need is a little love, yes, in your life.
As by request for Evan Blatt there, the Tornadoes out of Detroit, Michigan. Stanley Mitchell on lead there, 1959, Love in Your Life on the Bumblebee record label. That's the name of the tune. We stay in 1959, and a couple of weeks ago I featured the Bonnievilles, a group out of the Bronx, New York, on William Maxwell's Munich label by request for Jerry Nazen, and the song was called Lorraine. Jerry also requested the B-side as well as Reed King, also in our YouTube chat room. Now, two members of this group, Clinton Holland and Albert George. Albert George is the bass. They both wrote this tune, and they previously were members of the Harmonaires on the Holiday record label, so there's some association between those two groups. But let's send this one out to Jerry Nazen and Reed King. December 59, the Bonnievilles on the Munich label. The song is called Zoo Zoo.
Zoo. my dreams all night. You are the girl for me. That's why, baby, I want you to plainly see. You are the girl.
Going out to Jerry Nason and Reed King, the Bonnievilles there. The Bonnievilles from December 59. It's on the Munich record label, the Maroon Munich label. That's the first press for you collectors out there. Zoo Zoo is the name of that tune. And High Weiss would purchase the masters in 62 and put it out on the Barry label. So maybe you might own that on the Barry label. I know I do. I just bought it because I'm a completist. Why do I need it on Barry? I'll never know. Let's continue here. We are in 59. Let's go out to Los Angeles, California. Another rare 45 out of California. This is by request for Jimmy Amato in our YouTube chat room for this next group that initially recorded as the Minor Tones back in 1956. They had a release on the Charlie label. Now that disc only came out on a 78. Now their manager, his name was Frank Robinson, who penned all their tunes. He brought them to producer H.B. Barnum, who knew the owner of this label called Rowan Records, and as a result they had this great two-sided 45. They called themselves the Classics. This is from March 59. This is going out to Jimmy Amato, the Classics on the Rowan record label. The song is called Burning Desire. This is for Jimmy Amato.
Woke up, woke up, woke up. Ooh. Woke up, woke up, woke up. Burning desire deep in my heart. Burning desire we'll never part. Burning desire, please be my guiding light. Woke up, woke up, woke up. Ooh. Burning desire, love only you. Burning desire, please be true. Burning desire, please be my guiding light. Woke up, woke up, woke up. Ooh.
You know this flame burns deep in my heart for you. Now that I have lost the steam, now you have broken my heart into a
burning desire, love only you. Burning desire, please be true. Burning desire, please be my guiding light. Woke up, woke up, woke up. Ooh. Burning desire, deep in my heart. Burning desire, we'll never part. Burning desire, please be my guiding light. Woke up, woke up, woke up. Ooh. Woke up, woke up, woke up. Ooh. Woke up, woke up, woke up. Ooh. Woke up, woke up, woke up.
Those are the classics there out of Los Angeles, California. That's going out to Jimmy Amato, a rare 45 on the Rowan record label. Burning Desire came out in March of 1959. Now, this group would later record as the Viceroys on Art LeBeau's Original Sound record label. They do a nice cover of Dreamy Eyes. I have featured that here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Let's continue now for this next group. They're from Fort Lee, New Jersey. They had a big hit in 1958 on the Power/ABC Paramount record label, a song entitled Short Shorts, and in all they had 4 releases on ABC Paramount Records. Then sometime in 1958 they would add X3 Friends lead singer Joseph Francavilla, Joseph Francavilla, a.k.a. Joey Villa. He would join the group in sometime in 1958, and releases followed on the Mighty and then the Capitol record label. They had 3 for the Capitol label, and this is a request for listener Joe Shacatano. This is their first, written by group member Tommy Austin, Bob Gaudio, and the lead singer Joey Villa. This charted number 26 on Billboard, 24 on Cashbox, a big number 1 record in a number of markets, WICE and WHIM in Providence, Rhode Island, also WDGY in the Minneapolis-St. Paul area of Minnesota, and WKBH in La Crosse, Wisconsin. By request for Joe Shacatano, these are the Royal Teens from September 59 on Capitol Records. It's called Believe Me.
Each night as I go wandering down the street of tears, I think about the love we shared throughout our teenage years. Believe me, ooh, oh, oh. Because you said goodbye, do you think that I will die? Just because you broke my heart, now you're thinking you're so smart. All the kids in town will know, they will know you hurt me so. Did you have to tell them all that I still love you? I love you so, can't let you go. Believe me, believe me. If you return, the flame will burn. Believe me, believe me. Just because you said goodbye, do you think that I will die? Just because you broke my heart, now you're thinking you're so smart. All the kids in town will know, they will know you hurt me so. Did you have to tell them all that I still love you?
As by request for Joe Shacatano, they're the great sound of the Royal Teens. Joey Villa on lead there. That's their first release on the Capitol label, September 59. Song entitled Believe Me. I featured it on the old-style Capitol logo with the Capitol on the top. It's actually the hardest way to find this 45, because you can get it with the Capitol logo to the left side and big, big print. Or you can have the promo, I think, that way. Also, the yellow promo. And Charlene, doesn't Brent Whiteside like this song too? I think he does. We'll send it out to Brent Whiteside also. That's Charlene's son. I think he likes the Royal Teens too. That's for Joe Shacatano. We continue here, and up next, a special request from Mike Sape dedicated to Connecticut listener Randy Caiola as we head to Los Angeles, California. This group managed by Yahtzee Millsap, who also managed the Hollywood Saxons. Now, this group's debut single came out on the Gaiden label in April of 1959. It was called Nasty Breaks, backed by There's a Reason. Now, Mike requested their second overall release that came out on George Mottola's Forte label. This is not an easy record to find, by the way, but this is a request for Mike dedicated to Randy Caiola from June 59. These are the Dandevilles. The Dandevilles on Forte. Well, I think they have another release too, by the way. I'm just remembering. The Dandevilles on the Forte label. It's called Heavenly Angel. It's for Mike Sape and Randy Caiola.
Heavenly angel, say you'll be mine, you're my angel, all the time, for we'll be together till the stars fall in the night. That's why you're my heaven, my heaven, you're my God. Heavenly angel, my only love, you're my angel, sent from above. We'll be together till the stars fall from the night. That's why you're my heaven, yes, you're my God. We'll take a stroll through the Milky Way. We'll light a star and find our way. Walk out of night and into day. We'll walk down heaven's highway. Heavenly angel, my heart's on fire. You're my angel, my one desire. We'll be together till the stars fall from the night. That's why you're my heaven, yes, you're my God. Oh, you
Those are the Dandevilles. The Dandevilles out of California. That's going out to Mike Sape, dedicated to Randy Caiola, June 59, Heavenly Angel. That one there on the Forte record label. Mottola's wife, Ricky Page, she gets writer credit on that. She was talented also. She was also a very good singer, too, and songwriter, as Johnny G losing his voice here. It's the air conditioning up here, and when I don't get enough sleep. Those things combined make it for a coughing frenzy. Let's continue. We are in 59. Up next, a request for listener Timothy in our YouTube chat room. This group is out of York, Pennsylvania. They formed while attending William Penn High School back in 1957. First recorded for the Chess label in 58. You may know their biggest song, called Down the Aisle of Love, which became a hit after the group performed it on American Bandstand, as Dick Clark would promote it and distribute it nationally on his Hunt record label. First came out on the Red Top label, but Timothy requested their second release on the Red Top label, which would be their final release for the group. It was written by group member Jeannie Christ, and it's the intended B-side of their 45. It features Roberta Heyman on lead. This charted number 10, though, on WNDR out of Syracuse, New York. We go to August 59. These are the Quintones on Red Top Records for Timothy. It's called I Watch the Stars. As going out to Timothy there, the Quintones, Roberta Hayman and the Quintones. That's their final release on the Red Top record label. August 59, I Watched the Stars is the name of that tune. You know, when Dick Clark got involved, Hunt Records, you know, he had to divest himself from all that stuff because he was the House Senate Committee. I think they were watching every record he played. They were marking down, this is his pressing plan. This is his publishing. He played this, Danny and the Juniors, 27 times this week. They went through this whole thing, and they said, well, look, you're either going to keep American Bandstand or you're going to stay in the music business. Of course, the producer of that show, Tony Mammarella, he went with Chancellor Records. Big mistake. He should have did what Dick Clark did. Said, I'll stay in the TV business, because he became a multi-billionaire after that. Anyway, Johnny G babbling on here. Let's continue here. And we are in 59. We go to Los Angeles, California with this next request. This is for Joe Shacatano, I'm pretty sure. Yes, as this group formed at Fremont High School out in Los Angeles, California in the 1950s, and included Richard Botts, he was the tenor, Richard Botts tenor, Raymond Washington tenor, Jackie Eugene Ware the bass, and tenor lead singer Carlton Beck. And they first recorded for the Bahari Brothers Kent record label. Joe requested their second release. It features Carlton Beck on lead. This one from March 59. Let's give a listen to The Senders. These are The Senders on the Kent label. It's called Everybody Needs to Know for Joe Shacatano.
I walk along, singing my song. Don't even know if I am right or wrong. Everybody needs to know. Life was once gay, then you went away. My only hope is that you return someday. without you. I try so hard to tell all my friends. They just tell me that all misery, but what they don't seem to understand is what can you do when you done the best you can. They said forget her, just let her go, but I'll keep crying. No, 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 no. Everybody needs to know.
That's Carlton Beck and the Senders by request for Joe Shacatano, March 59 release on the Kent record banner, Everybody Needs to Know. This group also recorded under different aliases like the Swallows / Guides, the Uptones. They also have another release on the Entra label, song called Spinning. It's very good. No, I'm getting confused. That's Stan Beverly. You see, Johnny G having too much wine here on a Saturday evening. Hope you're digging on the cool tunes here. Let's continue. And here's a request for listener Emanon. This next singer first recorded in a duo with Jesse Belvin at as the Clicks on the Modern record label. And then went solo when he signed with Specialty Records, but his buddies were always singing in the background, and they'd be Jesse Belvin and Gaynell Hodge, and others would sing along with him occasionally. Then in 1959, he signed with Leon Renee's Class label for 4 releases, and his backup group was called the Fellows, which included Jesse Belvin, Timothy Williams, and Gaynell Hodge. And his first release for Class was sort of a hit for him, was called Pretty Girls Everywhere. It was followed up with a song called Miami that did chart, but Emanon requested the flip side, and this is from July of 1959, the second of 4 for Eugene Church on the Class label. It's called I Ain't Goin' For That. This is for Emanon.
I ain't going for that. Running around behind my back. Never answer your telephone. Your sister tell me you ain't home. I ain't going for that. No, no. Running around with a Jimmy and Jack. Running around with Jimmy and Jack. I ain't going for that. Running around with other guys. Tip it out to the record house. Making it with them big brown eyes. Don't you give me none of that. No, no. Let me know just where I'm at. Let me know just where I'm at. If you be my study girl, you really give romance away. I'm gonna love you night and day, forever, yeah, come what may. Now you know I like that. Yeah, yeah. Come on, you my bacon fat. Come on, you my bacon fat. If you be my sweetie pie, be the apple of my eye. Everything would be so grand if I could make you understand. Now you know I like that. Yeah, yeah. Your fingers are up and down my back. You know the boy is so like that. Come on, you my big and fat. Your fingers up and down my back. Come on, you my bacon fat. Bring us up and down my back. You know the boy is so like that.
B-sides here on the Vinyltreasure show. We almost can call that one there Pretty Girls Everywhere Part 2, because that's what that record sounded like. The A-side is a song called Miami. Big Dave Swinger mentioned it in the chat room there, but that's for Emanons there. The B-side, Eugene Church and the Fellows, July 59 release on Leon Renee's Class record label. I Ain't Going For That, a second of 4 on Class. Then he has a bunch of records released on the King label. Let's continue now. We move into 1960 now. We go into 60 now with a group from Poughkeepsie, New York, and this is a request for listener Jimmy Amato, and I can solemnly state that if you own this 45 or have it in your collection, it's the only group harmony record that uses an accordion. So think of it, an accordion in a vocal group harmony record, as this group is called the Tamineers, and the lead singer of this group, he goes by the name of Harvey Lee Everhart. I think that's how you say it, Everharted. I think that's how it's spelled. As I wrote it down here, I might have messed it up. I did it 3 o'clock in the morning. But he was employed at the Hudson River Psychiatric Center as a kitchen assistant, after which he was soon promoted to the position of head cook, then retiring from his position in October 20 of 1988. He unfortunately passed away, though, on April 24th of 2014, but his claim to fame was this release on the Bramley label as the lead singer of the Tamineers. So this is going out to Jimmy Amato, 1960, the Tamineers on the Bramley label with an accordion in their rendition of the tune Be Anything But Be Mine. This is for Jimmy Amato.
Be a beggar, be a thief, be my sunshine, all my grief, be anything, but darling, be mine. I'll be cruel, be anything, but darling, be mine. Climb to the top of the ladder, leave me stress apart, you survey, fail and it still doesn't matter, 'cause if you love me, everything is okay. Be the angel of my prayer, be the devil who cares, be anything, oh but darling, be mine.
As going out to Jimmy Amato there, the Tamineers. The Tamineers with Harvey Lee Everhart on lead, 1960 release on the Bramley label, Be Anything But Be Mine. I think Jimmy also requested the flip side of this, so stay tuned for that for next week, next Saturday night. Let's continue here. We move into 1961. This is going out to Ronnie Sherman. He requested a group from Harrison, New Jersey, first recording as the Ideals on the Cool record label back in 1958. That's a good tune, by the way. And in 1960, they changed their name to the Ovations when they signed with the Andy record label. On August 23rd of 1961, Epic Records purchased two masters. This group recorded for Walter Cohen and Ed Rosenberg. They were owners of the Con Music Company in New York City, and then Epic released this in September of 61. The tune was recorded, though, in October of 59. This features Richard Kelly on lead, who wrote the tune. This is going out to Ronnie Sherman, September 61 release on the Epic label for the Ovations. It's called Real True Love for Ronnie.
I searched and searched all over this whole wide world to try to find a new love, a real true girl. I went to Chinatown, I went to Timbuktu, went to Gay Paris, and to London too, searching high and low for real true love. I went to old Siam, oh what a fool I am, just to think I'd find that little girl so kind, searching high and low for real true love. I want to know, pretty baby, where can you be? What is the use of hiding from me? I'll get you, yeah, my pretty little pet. I'll find my girl somewhere in this world, searching high and low for real true love. I want to know, pretty baby, where can you be? What is the use of hiding from me? I'll get you, yeah, my pretty little pet. I'll find my girl somewhere in this world, searching high and low for real true love.
As Richard Kelly and the Ovations there, September 61 release on the on the Epic record label. Real True Love is the name of the tune. That's going out to Ronnie Sherman. Now the flip side is called Oh What a Day, which was issued initially on the Barry label in March 61 as The Day We Fell in Love. So High Weiss probably leased that too, and then Epic Records purchased the master and put it out as Oh What a Day. But that is the flip side of this 45. As as Ryan wants me to do a instant request, I will do it for Ryan. Ryan gets Ryan's going to get Ryan's going to get a special privilege here. I normally do this on my 60s show, but we'll do it for Ryan because he's been in the chat room all night here. He deserves this here. So let's flip this over here for Ryan. This is these are the these are the Ovations here. Richard Kelly and the Ovations. This is from, well, this one is September 61 on Epic. It originally was released in March of 61 on the Barry label as the Day We Fell in Love. But on this side it's called Oh What a Day, and we'll send it out instantly to Ryan Heisey, who had a good day today. I'm glad you did, Ryan. This is for you.
Oh, what a day. Oh, what a day. Oh, what a day. Oh, what a day when we fell in love. Birds sang before we're gay. What a lovely couple, that's what they'd say. Well, that's how it was the day we fell in love. Fell in love. Skies were blue, no clouds above. Angels were singing songs about love. Well, that's how it was the day we fell in love. You said you loved me, you'd stay by my side, and someday you'll be my loving bride. I love you, dear, with all of my heart. And we'll never part. I'll love you, dear, till the end of time. Say that you'll love me, say you'll be mine. Well, that's how it was the day we fell in
Instant requests here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. I normally don't do that, but I got the record right here on the turntable. That's going out. Special request to Ryan Heisey in our YouTube chat room. The Ovations there. Richard Kelly and the Ovations. A song originally called The Day We Fell in Love. Came out on the originally on Barry Records in March 61. Was used as a B-side in September 61 when it was sold to Epic Records as Oh What a Day. Was the flip side of Real True Love that I featured for Ronnie Sherman. Now let's let's continue in 60. This wine is getting to me, folks. Let's continue here with a request from my number one California listener, Matey Campoy. This singer, originally from Washington, D.C., started his career as lead singer of the Starlighters that recorded for George Goldner's N record label, but he went solo in 1960 on his newly created record label, his own label. He called it Rockin' Records, and this is his second of three on the label. This song, it's a song he wrote that bubbled under at number 104 on Billboard, was a big number 11 record on KRLA out in Los Angeles, California. So this is going out to Matey Campoy, July 1961 on the Rockin' record label for Van McCoy. Van McCoy, this is for Matey. It's called Mr. DJ.
I've written down the information, so please, Mr. DJ, read my dedication. dedicate a record over the air to somebody special who doesn't know I care. Mr. DJ, make this dedication for me. Please play something special, something sweet and slow. Maybe she'll be listening to your show. Then Mr. DJ, if she hears it, then maybe she'll know. So if it's not asking too much, please won't you read my request? Then maybe my dedication will say the words I'm too shy to confess. Oh, so Mr. DJ, I'm depending on you. This dedication could make my dreams come true. So Mr. DJ, make this dedication for me.
Jaji getting caught off guard there for 1 second as we join the Oldies and More radio network now. And welcome to the Vinyl Treasure Show. We are spinning original vinyl 45s. We do it every Saturday from 9 p.m. to midnight. We are now in overtime. We've got a few more records to go here, so we're not going to really be that long as we normally are. But that one there, cool tune there by Van McCoy. That's going out to Matey Campboy, July 61 release on the Rockin' record label. That's his own Rockin' record label. Mr. DJ is the name of the tune. Of course, the Baby Dolls also recorded it. And at the end, you get Jocko Henderson at the end of that Baby Dolls release. But Van McCoy here would go on to have a big #1 record back in 1975 on the I think it was AFCO Records, a song called The Hustle. Johnny G used to hustle, by the way. I bought that 45 when it came out back in 1975. I was a senior in high school then. As we continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show, earlier I featured the Platters on the Mercury label, one of their hits for listener Tom Shaughnessy, that August 56 release, You'll Never Know. Well, Tom also requested a later Platters disc, and this one was their 24th release on the Mercury label. And in June 1960, lead singer Tony Williams, he would leave the group. He was replaced by Sonny Turner. When they were on the Mercury label, he joined the group, but they continued, Mercury Records continued to release Platters material with Tony Williams on lead. Of course, they never had any of those big hits anymore that they were so used to, as is the case with this song. This was recorded February 24th, 1960, and this is actually a cover song. I think this song dates back like to 1928, but this did chart, but did not do so well for them nationally. This was number 62 on Billboard, 51 on Cashbox. It was a number 16 on WJET in Erie, Pennsylvania. So let's send this one out to Tom Shaughnessy. These are the Platters with Tony Williams on lead from February 61 on the Mercury label. The song is called Trees.
I think that I shall never see. A poem lovely as a tree. A tree whose hungry mouth is pressed against the earth, sweet flowing breast. A tree that looks at God all day and lifts her leafy arms to pray. A tree that may in some way a nest of robins in her hair, upon whose bosom snow has lain, who intimately lives with rain. Her winds are made by fools like me, but only God can make a tree. Her winds are made by fools like me. But only God can make a tree. I think that I shall never see.
As going out to Tom Shaughnessy, the Platters, Tony Williams on lead there. The Platters from February 61, recorded in 1960. Mercury Records, song entitled Trees. I think Pookie Hudson and the Spaniels also record that on the VJ record label. We are here in Vinyltreasure Overtime, so hope you're, to those of you tuned in on Oldies and More Radio, welcome to the program. We continue now with a request for listener Emanon, as this artist was born in Ivernus, Mississippi. His real name was James Milton Campbell Jr., mostly known for his blues material, but throughout his career known for his unique blend of musical styles. He was discovered by Ike Turner, who was looking for talent at the time for Sun Records, and brought him over to Sun Records in 1954, and he had his first 3 releases on Sun, then I think 2 more on the Bahari Brothers Meteor label. Then his next stop was Bob Lyons' Bobbin label, which was out of St. Louis, Missouri. He had 7 releases on the Bobbin label. This is his final 7th release, and his name is Little Milton, and this is a cover tune. This was first recorded by Johnny Ace on the Duke label. There's an uncredited vocal group backing him up on this. They're called the Emeralds. They had 2 prior releases on the Bobbin label. So let's send this one out to Emanon, January 61, Little Milton and the uncredited Emeralds on the Bobbin label, with his version of the Johnny Ace tune, Cross My Heart, for Emanon.
Darling, darling, I cross my heart. I cross my heart, and I hope to die if I should ever make you cry, 'cause you're my own. Darling, you're a part of me. Darling, I cross my heart. I swear by every starboard, just stay with me. Please take my love I cross my heart. And if I lie, I hope to die. I'll trade the world for the treasure of your charm, my dear. I'll never be free. Please stay with me right here in my arms. You're my queen, you'll always be. I swear, by all there's to be, no love but yours I'll ever see. You're everything, everything that love means to me. If I lie, I hope to die.
As going out to Emanons there. Great sound there. Cover tune, though. Originally done by Johnny Ace. That one there by Little Milton. Little Milton there. And the uncredited Emeralds, also recorded for the Bobbin label out of St. Louis, Missouri, January 61 release. Cross My Heart is the name of the tune. Cross My Heart. Braden McCallow, if I see you, I'm going to take care of you. That is for sure the Johnny G pose. I'll give you a pose. I will, as we continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Got a request for listener Kenny Mack. Kenny, I was looking for this record forever and ever and ever when you sent me the request, and I wasn't even looking for your record, but it was in the box right at the side of me over here. I'm telling you, I was like, here it is. You don't know the relief of finding the record after I thought I lost it, but this is for Kenny Mack. This group is out of Sumter, South Carolina. This was their only release to come out on the local C-Mac record label. This tune written by group member Harvey Ackerman Jr., who was also playing the drums on this and providing background vocals. Now, the lead singer here, his name is Kelly Jones, and he is also playing piano. This one here, going out to Kenny Mack in our YouTube chat room, May 1961. They're called the Swordsmen. The Swordsmen on the C-Mac record label. It's called Lonely Boy, Lonely Girl. This is for Kenny Mack.
Sha-la-la, 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 sha-la-la. A lonely boy and a lonely girl fell in love at a dance. A lonely boy and a lonely girl had their first teenage romance. Lonely boy, lonely girl, holding hands, oh so tight. Lonely boy, lonely girl, kissing in the moonlight. to say goodbye. Lonely boy, lonely girl, holding hands oh so tight. Lonely boy, lonely girl, kissing in the moonlight. Lonely boy, lonely girl, 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 lonely boy, lonely girl.
Those are the Swordsmen out of Sumter, South Carolina on the CMAC record label, May 61 release, Lonely Boy, Lonely Girl. That's going out to Kenny Mack. Here we are in 61. Here's a request for listener Jerry Nazen. He wanted me to play the Olympics on the RV record label. You know, you can play one of the Olympics hits. No, I'm not going to play the Olympics hits. But we are going to play a record by the Olympics. Origins of this group date back to 1956. They were Walter Ward and the Challengers, but in 1958 they became the Olympics, had a big hit called Western Movies on the Demon label, a song that I do like. I like that song, Western Movies, but there's a song I bet Jerry Nazen has never heard by this group, because this type of song really isn't the same style of their others that those of you that know the Olympics, they're kind of novelty tunes. And I say this is their best tune in my opinion, at least for me, and it's a B-side to their 6th of 10 releases on the RV record label. The A-side was called Dooley, was a novelty tune, but this is the B-side, written by Clifford Goldsmith and Fred Smith. It features Walter Ward on lead. Let's send this one out to Jerry Nazen's May 61, the Olympics on the RV label. It's called Stay Where You Are, for Jerry.
Stay where you are, stay where you are, stay where you are, my stay where you are, my love, and wait for me. Stay where you are, my love, without a plea. Keep your lips warm and keep my love in your heart. Love in your heart. I'm coming home, my love, back to your arms and never more will I roam. You know that's where I belong. So please stay where you are. You know, baby, I've been mistreated too, until I fell in love with you. You know, baby, we've been apart so long. That's why I'm coming home, my love, back to your arms and never more will I roam. You know that's where I belong. So please stay where you are. Stay where you are. Stay where you are, my love.
I bet you never heard that one, Jerry Nazen, by the Olympics. That a cool tune by the Olympics, May 61. Stay Where You Are is the name of that one on the RV record label. Let's continue now. Let's go to Louisville, Kentucky now with a request for Big Dave Swinger. This record should have been a big hit. in the area where Dave Swinger is located in Louisville, Kentucky. Now, this is the A side of this 45. I first heard it played by disc jockey Gus Gossard on his Oldies show. It's the group's only release, came out on the Leslie label, and I would hear it quite often. This group is called Little Pete and the Youngsters. And I forget where I bought this copy here. Now, the lead singer, his name is Robert Little Pete Downs. This is from August of 1962. We move into 62 now. This is on the Leslie label. Both sides of this 45 are excellent. Maybe we'll flip it over for Big Dave Swinger, but he requested both sides of this. Little Pete and the Youngsters, August 62, going out to Big Dave Swinger on the Leslie label. It's called You Told Another Lie. That brings back memories of listening to Gus Gossard there. That's by request for Big Dave Swinger. Little Pete and the Youngsters, Robert Little Pete Downs, the lead singer on that August 1962 release on the Leslie record label, song entitled You Told Another Lie. Well, we're going to flip it over here because this is the only record I have in 1962, so we can do this. And Big Dave Swinger requested the flip side here, which is good also. This is I'll Never Leave You Again. It's they're backed up by the instrumentation is by a group called the Aristocrats. So let's flip it over here because this is the up-tempo side. Instant requests here for Big Dave Swinger in our YouTube chat room. Did I get it right? Yeah, I got it right. August 62, Little Pete and the Youngsters on Leslie Records. This is the flip. It's called I'll Never Leave You Again for Big Dave.
I never.
you go. That's the flip side of You Told Another Lie, song entitled I'll Never Leave You Again. That's Little Pete and the Youngsters, Robert Little Pete Downs on lead, August 62 release on the Leslie label. That's going out to Big Dave Swinger. Let's move into 1963 now with a request for Ryan Heisey in our YouTube chat room. This group is out of Long Island, New York, and their debut single was in 1962 on the Express label, but they followed it up with this release on Lou Fargo's Fargo label, the song written by group member Peter Gutowski, and the lead singer for the group, his name is Ricky Ricano, Racano, was also known as Richard Mango. Now, Ryan requested the intended B-side of this release, and it's from February 1963. So let's give a listen to Ricky and the Vasels, or Vasels. I don't know how you want to say it, Vasels, Vacels. And this is for Ryan Heisey on the Fargo label, Ricky Ricano. He's the lead singer. The song is called His Girl. This is for Ryan.
Lost my love since he came to town. Said that she loved me, now she put me down. His girl, that's what they call her, his girl. That's what they say, but I love her, oh I love her, for all eternity, oh yeah. When will she be my girl, to cherish and to hold, wish I were worthy for her. But she's his girl, yeah, she's his girl. There's nothing I can do for now. There's no mistaking what she has done to me. Goes around in circles. When will she come to me? His girl, that's what they call her, his girl. That's what they say, but I love her.
That's Ricky and the Vasels. I think that's how you say it. That's by request for Ryan Heisey, February 63. It's on the Fargo record label out of New York. His Girl is the name of that tune. This group would have later releases on the Kama Sutra label. Actually, they have like 3 or 4 on the beginning in 1965 on Kama Sutra. Let's continue here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more 45s to go here before we sign off on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Got a girl group sound up next. This is a request from my #1 California listener, Matey Campboy. Now, I have conflicting information on this group here as far as group members and year of releases. But what I know is that this came out on H.B. Barnum's H3 label, and the group is known as the Sweethearts. They have 2 releases on this label, and not to be confused with the Sweethearts that recorded for Raystar. Bobby Sanders managed that other group on the Raystar label. Now, the conflicting information comes from the California book. I don't know, Reed, if you have that California book, Galen Gart and Steve Prope's book, but it doesn't really. Now, they say that this group formed at Fremont High School. I don't doubt that. Here's where it starts to get odd, but it kind of, they're half right, I think. They said that it was formed by lead singer Uma Hurd, but it says in 1961, and Ferdy Gonzalez's disco file shows 4 members and doesn't mention Uma Hurd. She is not a member. The group members of this group are Dorothy Berry, Sharon DeVault, Maxine Waters, and Carlotta Robinson. No mention of Uma. And this is the same lineup for a group called The Utmost on the Panor label. Again, that song on Panor was written by Uma Hurd. It was called I Need You. That's a great girl group sound. But the lead singer on The Utmost is Carlotta Robinson. So I don't know what's up with this. And again, with the release dates, this record was, I think it was, there's a write-up in the March 63 Cashbox or Billboard about this record, and they were talking about 1961, and it doesn't really make any sense. And so I don't know what is the deal with this, but it really doesn't make any difference, because no matter what you say, it's a great record. Now, they said The Utmost, according to the California book, The Utmost is their second release, or is the next release. They changed their name from the Sweethearts to The Utmost, but that doesn't make sense, because that's an April 62 release. So I don't know what's going on with this, but anyway, this is the first of 2 that Mady requested for this Sweethearts group, and the tune co-written by Uma Hurd, and this charted number 23 on KBLA in Burbank, California. Let's go to March 63, the Sweethearts on the H3 label. The song is called Puppy Love. This is for Mady.
Puppy love.
One day, I was talking with my mother about my love affair. I told her about a guy that I loved and that I really cared. Then she said, it's puppy love that I feel in my heart. She said, it won't last, it will fall apart. This thing called puppy love. Puppy love, puppy love. Mother said, don't you know? Life's just a dream, that it's not, no it's not. But it really seems she calls it love. Puppy love, puppy love, puppy love. Ooh, it's not puppy love, puppy love, ooh, puppy love. Ooh, it's not puppy love.
That's from Mady Campboy there, the Sweethearts, the first of 2 on the H3 record label Puppy Love is the name of the tune. Now, that lead singer, she sounds like the utmost lead. So I would have to say that that's Carlotta Robinson on lead. And that sounds like that could be a 61 release. It's possible that this record, made the charts much later. The DJ picked it up and played it. That's a possibility. So I don't know. It gets hard with this documentation. There's really no delta markings in the dead wax to date the record also. And I was looking for, publisher. I couldn't find anything on the publishers, and that's not always 100% right. But either way, it's a great tune, I have to say. Thank you, Matey, for requesting that. This goes out to Matey Campboy. Let's continue here. We are in 1963. Played a request for listener Jimmy Amato last week by the Versatones. The song was called Will She Return? That was the intended A-side of the 40, of the 45. Actually, it was on the July 23rd. It wasn't last week. It was July 23rd show. Jimmy also wanted to hear the flip side, and so did Floyd Flowers, I think. You mentioned you wanted to hear the flip side of this record. So this is from January of 63. This is on Vince Rago's Ritchie record label. Ritchie Records is out of the state of Delaware, or Wilmington, Delaware, I think. That's where it's from. This is a rare 45 too. These are the Versatones from January 63 on Ritchie. This is going out to Floyd and Jimmy. It's called Hold Me Lover, parentheses, Party After 7. This is for Floyd and Jimmy.
Hold me, Mr. Lover, I don't wanna go home. Dear, 1, 2, you, 3 kisses I wrote, didn't say 4, and I'll be over to prove it at 6. You're sweet, you're neat, you're my kind of treat. Oh, what I say now? I'm on my way now, it'll be me at your front doorbell. Believe my little melody, 6 will be making some harmony. Oh yeah, hugging should be the show. Hold me, Mr. Lover, I don't wanna go. Dear, 1, 2, you, 3 kisses I throw, didn't say 4, and I'll be over to prove it at 6. You're sweet, you're neat, you're my kind of treat. Oh, what I say now? I'm on my way now, it'll be me at your front doorbell. Believe my little melody, 6 will be making some harmony. Oh yeah, hugging should be the show. Hold me, Mr. Lover, I don't wanna go this 7. Oh, at 3. Oh, what I say now? Oh, what I say now? Oh, what I say now? Hold me, Mr. Lover, I don't wanna go home.
As by request for Jimmy Amato and Floyd Flowers there, rare 45 by the Versatones, Vince Rago's Ritchie record label, January 63 release, Hold Me Lover, parentheses, Party After 7. That's the B-side. The A-side I played a couple weeks ago, Will She Return? 3 more, 3 more 45s to go before we sign off here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. We go to Brooklyn, New York for this duo, and it's a request for Matey Campboy. On last week's Vinyl Treasure Show, I played the second of 4 on the Big Top label for Rick in Philly, song entitled Magic Wand. Now, after Big Top, the group moved to the Mala label for 5 releases. They were Roland Don Throne and Claude Juan Johnson, who and Claude Johnson previously recorded with the Genies of Who's That Knockin' fame. But here's their second of 5 on the Mala label, and we heard a cover earlier, Cross My Heart, by Johnny Ace. Well, this is another cover, first done by Johnny Ace. This charted number 1 on WQAM in Miami, Florida. This is going out to Matey, May 64. Don and Juan on the Mala label, and their rendition of the tune Pledging My Love for Matey.
Forever, my darling, our love will be true, always and forever. I'll love only you. Just promise me, darling, I'll love in return. Make this fire in my soul, dear, forever burn. My heart's at your command, dear, to keep love and to hold. Making you happy is my desire. Keeping you is my goal. I'll forever love you the rest of my days. I'll never part from you in your loving ways.
Cover tunes here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. That one there for Matey Campboy. That's Don and Juan. Don and Juan from May 64. That's Roland Trone and Claude Johnson on the Mala label, their second release on Mala. Cover of the Johnny Ace tune, Pledging My Love. Two more 45s to go here. Here's a request for listener Ryan Heisey. This group, they're from Camden, New Jersey. They took their demo to DJ Jerry Blavitt. He was the DJ on WCAM in Philadelphia. They asked if he could play their record. Now, Jerry liked the song and then asked them, well, what's the name of your group? And they told him, they replied, we have no name. Where'd you hear about No Name before? The Emanons spelled backwards. Well, here they really are called No Name. They said, we really have no name. He said, well, how about we call you guys the No Names? So they got their demo over to Guidon Records in Philadelphia, and they put this record out. It was written by group member Al Morrison. It features Douglas Gordon on lead. This is from July 64. This is going out to Ryan Heisey in our YouTube chat room. The No Names on the Guidon label. The song is called Love. Love. This is for Ryan.
Love, love, love.
It's impossible. It's incredible to resist love. God put woman on earth for man to love, to charge, to hold forevermore. without its key. I am like a violin with one string. I am like the rainbow minus its colors. Yes, my darling, I am like the sky without a star. That's how lonely, that's how much I love you.
As going out to Ryan Heisey there. Those are the No Names from July 1964. Came out on the Guidon record label out of Philadelphia, a song entitled L-O-V-E, Love. That's going to do it for Johnny G and the Vinyl Treasure Show. Want to thank you for joining Johnny G, listening to cool original 45's out of my collection. If you want to get in touch with Johnny G, send me an email at vinyltreasures@aol.com. If you missed any of the show with my cough, you can tune in. It'll be up instantaneously on YouTube, so you can go back and check out the show. If it's not up there because of a copyright strike like I got last night at 3 a.m. in the morning because somebody listened to my January 30th show from 2021, and I played a record there, they said, "You can't play this." I said, "It's been on for over a year already, and you're gonna shut it down." So I had to take the song off. I forget what it was a soul record on Verve, but I don't know what's going on. I'm under it. Listen, I am bound by the rules of YouTube and the owners of the records here. I don't make any money on the records. You want to make money? Go ahead. Make money on the records. I don't care with the advertisements. But they're foolish is what they are. But in case it's not up, you can go to vinyltreasures.net. You can always download the show there, or you can stream it right on your PC. It'll play right on your player. So you can always do that. But anyway, that's going to do it for tonight. Thank you, Charlene, again for all your help. Couldn't do it without Charlene. And we have a closer tonight. It's actually a rare 45 out of Pittsburgh from 1965, and it's a request for Nick Nicola. This record on the Scotty label out of Pittsburgh. It's actually it's Robert Shackner's Scotty label, and came out in 65. And it says on the label, the lead singer, his name is Richard Marshall. That's it. This is for Nick Nicola. They're called the Exciting Avantis, Avantis, from 65 on the Scotty label. The song is called My Plea. My plea is that if you have not subscribed to the Vinyl Treasure Show, that you please do that. Very important to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Be careful that you don't think you subscribed already, because if you click it, you will unsubscribe. So you don't want to do that. And also click the like button. That would be great if you can do that. And then if you click that little bell, get all notifications, you will get an email. You have to be set up on email on YouTube in order to do that through Google. That's really the only way, unfortunately. Listen, if I can do my own thing on my own server, I would love to do that. A whole bunch of DJs would come on to join Johnny G's show. That would be a great thing to do. You never know. You never know. That could be a possibility one day. So brush up on your DJ skills. We can do that. But anyway, thank you all for tuning in tonight to the Vinyl Treasure Show. And I'll be back next Saturday night beginning at 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock right here on YouTube, and also at Oldies and More beginning at midnight. That is when I can kind of tap into their broadcast. So thank you all for tuning in. I'll see some of you on Monday night on the Soul Show. That begins at 8 o'clock. That's 8 to 11. That's going to do it, folks. Once again, Charlene, thank you all. Everybody have a safe and happy week. Stay cool. At least it's getting cool here on Wednesday in New York, but we got to go till Wednesday. Just want to say, everybody, so long for Nick.
the stars from the galaxy crumble the mountains into the sea. Do all these things, but don't you ever leave me. Burn the stars that sing of love, stop the rain that falls from above. Do all these things, but don't you ever leave me. I'll always love you with a feeling I can't hide. I'll always hope someday you'll be mine. Oh, my darling, can't you see that I never wanna set you free? Each night I pray you'll hear my plea and that you'll come back home to me. I'll look in your eyes and say tenderly, please don't
Okay, folks, that is gonna do it here. What did you say, Ryan? I requested Egyptian Kings, I Need Your Love for my fourth, LOL. Wait, the flip side you did? No, you didn't. That side is the flip side of that is I played both. I played a twin spin. I played the Columbus Pharaohs and I played the Egyptian Kings. Did you flip the flip side of that record, the Nance record too? Is that what you wanted? I played back to back, and you liked the second one better. I thought that was the case. Here you go. That's the no names. This comes. Reed, do you have this on a promo or you have the stock copy? Because they say the promo is more. I think I mean, I got a nice copy, but so Ryan, you want to buy this record? When I sell out, do you want to do that? I'm sorry, folks. I apologize with the cough. The AC. And what happens is when I only get like 4 hours sleep and I don't get enough sleep, and yesterday was tough because I got to do the shopping, and it's only me, for $350 worth of food. It's a lot of food. But anyway, this is the Scotty record. There you go. My Plea by the Exciting Avantis. It's another rare 45 out of the Pittsburgh guys like that record. But anyway, thank you all again for tuning in tonight, and also Charlene for that. But anyway, I'm doing Johnny G's got to go relax. I got to go lay down in front of the TV and have some pita chips. That's what I'm going to do, and that means I can't go to bed soon, so I have to be up for the next couple hours. Anyway, that's it. I got to sign out here. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you next Saturday, or I'll see you Monday night. So everybody be safe, stay well, stay cool. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.